Minus 14, minus 130 against Oklahoma. Here's the thing. Yeah, I could look at the numbers. Do you mean look at the numbers? Oh, okay. Oh, that's a massive number. You got to pick Oklahoma. No, you don't. No, you don't. What stands out when you look at this line? How in the world could a team be laying this many points in a rivalry game that is always close? I'll tell you why. Because the Sooners have 4 or 5 of their top receivers out. Texas lost this game last year. There is a motivational edge. There's also another motivational edge because after that game, Danny Stutzman, I think his name is, linebacker for the Sooners, put on a shirt, and they posted this, of course, that says, Oklahoma only fears God. Texas fears Oklahoma. The Texas players have been asked about that, and they've said, you know, that was last year, but we haven't forgotten. And also, Texas is a much better team. Nobody likes losing to another team full of people who are related, inbreds. I'm talking about Oklahoma. This is when Texas goes into Dallas and whips up, mops the floor with the Sooners. Revenge for last year, and also Texas is a much better team. They look like the number 1 team this weekend at the Cotton Bowl. Texas, minus 14.
Yeah, and Quinn Ewers is back. I feel like it's stomping time for the Longhorns. So we know Jinx is going to be watching it, but if you want to watch it too, Red River Rivalry kicking off at 3:30 Eastern tomorrow.
Pick Six. Pick Six.
All right, let's head to, I guess that game was in the SEC as well, but back to the SEC. Going to go with Vandy getting 13.5 at Kentucky. So you look at this line, you say, Chelsea, that's a trap game. Vandy is in the biggest letdown spot probably of any team this week. But here's the thing. They can still lose and cover this number. Because take the names off the back of the jerseys, or the front of the jerseys, I should say, for just a second. The total in this game is 44.5. So if you're giving me 13.5 points with the underdog here and a team that has proven that they can play from behind, Diego Pavia in that offense, we know, can throw the ball a little bit. So Kentucky has some major advantages on the offensive and defensive lines. Again, another team that's really good at controlling the clock. But if they're playing ball control in this game, I don't see them running away with it. Vanderbilt has proven that they can play even against the top talent in the SEC. Big win over Bama. Don't know if you heard about it. So I'm not expecting Vandy to win, but I am expecting them to cover. Vandy 4-1 against the spread this year. Let's go Vandy to cover once more. Vandy plus 13.5.
Night game in Lexington with a kickoff at 6:45 Eastern.
Pick Six. Pick Six.
Squad play. Let's do
Squad
it.
play.
Squad play. Ohio State, minus 3, minus 118. At number 3, Oregon. I just don't buy Dylan Gabriel as quarterback of the Ducks. 2 touchdowns, 2 picks last week against Michigan State. I think he's going to have a really hard time with this Buckeyes defense ranked number 2 in the country. The Buckeyes, once again, have an incredible receiver in Jeremiah Smith. He stars in every single game in which he plays. And Will Howard, I think, has been better than expected as Ohio State's quarterback, the dual threat. This is just too few points for an Ohio State team that I just simply think is better, and you're getting it at a field goal. Buckeyes minus 3 in Eugene.
Yeah, it looks like this is tipping to 3.5 in some spots, and for good reason. Still, in college football, I feel like anything under a touchdown, you go with the more dominant team. And I know it can be difficult to go on the road and pick up a big win, but Ohio State, I feel like they have the type of team that is fine with travel. Because when you have a great defense, which Ohio State does, the number 1 scoring defense in the entire nation, and you have a run game that is very repeatable when you have so much talent on the offensive line, this is the recipe for winning big games on the road. And this is a big one in the Big Ten. I'll go with Ohio State as well, laying the 3. I will lay a little juice.
Lamar Jackson, an NFL MVP, welcoming a young upstart from the District of Columbia. 2 players with similar personalities and styles who don't want to be compared. And who doesn't want to watch this game? Over 51.5. I see a lot of people on the under. You know what? That's fine. Total has gone down from 52.5 to 51.5. I'm on the other side here, and I can't wait to see these guys go at it. This should be an exciting game. This will be a great litmus test for the Commanders, who have won 4 straight, who have looked awesome, but this is without question their sternest test to date. But look at what these offenses have done this season and recently. In their last 3 games, the Commanders have scored 38 points per game. The Ravens have scored 34 points per game. And also, even though the Ravens have the advantage and they are the better team, their secondary is a real weak spot. I think Jaden Daniels, who throws a beautiful deep ball, can attack that Ravens secondary. A Ravens secondary ranked 31st against the pass in the NFL. Over 51.5 is the play in Baltimore.
Yeah, and if you want to watch this heavyweight bout, you can watch it 1 Eastern Sunday in Baltimore.
Pick six. Pick six.
All right, so parental advisory here. This is not my favorite pick of my 3 plays of the weekend, but still, when you see a divisional matchup and the underdog at home getting a field goal between 2 teams that are probably not going to score much, I will take the points. So I'm going to go with the Broncos getting 3 at home against the Chargers. This line opened at 1.5 and has been bet up, but this is the stopping point, guys. You know, the total in this one set at 35.5. Both these teams want to run the football, and here's the thing about Denver. It's been a team that the market has been too low on all season long. 4-1 against the spread this year. The only game they didn't cover was earlier in the season, and I believe they were only getting 2.5 in that one. So divisional matchup, Denver has owned the Chargers in recent history, and it's not like Denver has had, you know, some great quarterbacks over the past few years. They've won 5 straight in Denver against the Chargers. I think maybe that continues. Maybe they don't win outright, but still in a low-scoring affair, I'm going to take the points with the Broncos.
Okay, I like that. I like the under a little bit better in that game because you've got 2 very good defenses. Bo Nix has been, you know, he's still learning as a rookie, and also Justin Herbert, while he's a great quarterback, has been super banged up, doesn't have a lot of weapons. So I'd be on the under, but I like that play as well. It is a 4:05 start in the East in the Mile High City on Sunday.
Pick six. Pick six.
Time for a squad play here on the show.
Squad play.
Squad play. Lions -3 in Dallas. This feels like a sucker line to me because it feels so obvious. But then again, I thought the Niners line last night was obvious. Laying 3.5 in Seattle, and they blew away the Seahawks. Don't know if it's going to happen here, but the Lions are so much better than the Cowboys. The Cowboys, yes, they got the win against the Steelers. Their running game looked okay, even though they don't really have a running game. But it took the end of that game, 4th quarter, on a 4th down to get the win late. And I think in this spot, this is just a bad spot for them because the Lions are coming in with so much offense that I don't think the Cowboys are going to be able to keep up, whether it's Jared Goff, whether it's Sam Laporta, whether it's Jamison Williams, whether it's Amon-Ra St. Brown. The Cowboys don't have the firepower.